This game is called Planet Defender. You play as the little blue ship. You have to defend your big green and blue planet against these attacking orange ships who are trying to take it over and destroy it. You can collect the coins for extra planet health. If you can destroy the enemy ships for extra planet health. If the ships touch your planet, you lose planet health. And if your planet health gets below 0, you'll lose. We'll start off with the actual game because that's easier. So you click run, press space, game starts. Everyone starts flying at you. See if they touch the planet, you lose them health. The big ones you take away 200, small ones take away only 100. If you touch the coin, you get extra health. You can't leave the play area because it just sends you right back. That's pretty cool. It works for the enemies as well, but only really the big one, enemy H, because that's the only one that moves side to side. Touch the coin for extra health, and we'll just see when the game over happens. It sends you to a different screen. Any minute now. Alright. And this should be the last one. Yep. Planet invaded. The planet turns red to a different sprite. And the game over, planet invaded. And you can't really move anymore. The laser cutter doesn't work. There are no more ships. So this portion of the code starts off with the setting up the variables and the animations, and basically sets up the whole game. Sends most of the enemies off into the background, as well as sends the laser ball to purgatory. And, puts the player there. These are the variables. It sets up the planet's health here, and also sets the game start to 0 in order to pull up this screen. This is the draw loop. It's where all the variables go and drawing the sprites. This is setting up the background. There used to be a lot more in here, but I transitioned most of it to sprites. Here's the function for using the laser cutter. So it actually works. Otherwise, it wouldn't, right? Here is sending the laser ball to negative 100, so I can't see it anymore if I'm not pressing space. The next 4 functions over here allow the spaceship to actually fly around, WASD. Yep. I used to have it set to negative 1, but that was way too quick. This one sets up the planet health and allows the coin to actually increase it if you touch it, as well as randomizing the enemy H's velocity. The function game over here checks if the score is below 0. And if it is, it sends you to the game over screen which you just saw. Otherwise, it checks for the game start equals 1. So if you press space, it sets it to game start equal 1, and it turns on all these gameplay functions. This is the start screen. It actually sets the game start to 1 if I press space. Otherwise, you just sit here and read the text dump. This is the function that prevents me from leaving the play area. Quite smooth. It also prevents player H from leaving, because it does change directions every once in a while. This function sends the actual enemies downwards, otherwise they wouldn't. This one is for the sprites were originally way too big, so it felt like the game was really cramped. So I decreased the scale, and now it looks a lot nicer. This is the checking when the laser cutter actually hits the enemies. It's 3 functions because I was debugging, and this is the only way it seemed to work. Probably fixed it by now, but leaving it like this. These 3 functions check for enemies colliding with the planet. again, I probably could have put them together, but bugs, and they seem to interfere with each other. It also, most of these also cause the enemies to change to a random X, because other than H, they don't really move around much. Cool. So the whole idea behind this game is that it's, while there are a lot of games where it's, first of all, Planet Defender games or like Space Invader style games are very easy to make. Because, I made them last year in grade 9 business. But I wanted to try it where not only do you like keep stay in the screen, but one, I like drawing planet sprites. I'm quite proud of that one. If I move it up, I actually really like it. But also, I wanted to try how it would be if you made the ship a melee attack. Also, this project started out way more ambitious, but I had to cut it down a little. But I'm quite happy with it. I think it's quite fun, and I think the instruction set is pretty good.